being negatively impacted by its trade war with the U.S. Well, let's bring in my colleague there in Frankfurt, Conrad Busen, to tell us more from the European space. Hello, Conrad. A beautiful week to you.
A beautiful start to the week to you too, Chimmy. Hello to everyone in Nigeria.
Thank you. Well, it's going to be a busy political week in Europe as a G7 summit is being prepared in the French resort town of Biarritz. And, of course, Boris Johnson will travel to Berlin and Paris to meet President Macron and Chancellor Merkel. Any reason for the markets to be relaxed or nervous?
Well, of course, ahead of important events like this, the markets have a little bit of a tendency to be nervous, but optimistically nervous, I would say. Of course, the meeting of Boris Johnson with the German Chancellor and also with the French President likely will have a lot to do with the G7 summit. They have to prepare common positions for some of those discussions. For example, in terms of Iran, remember Germany, France and Britain still are supporting the deal, the nuclear deal with Iran, while the Americans have withdrawn from this agreement. In terms of Brexit, of course, there's not much to expect from the meetings between Johnson and the European heads of state like Macron or Merkel, because of course it's the European Union that negotiates Brexit. And Juncker and the negotiators for the European Union all have made it pretty clear that they don't want to renegotiate. Meanwhile, many companies here on the European continent, but also in the United Kingdom, are working on their contingency plans for a no-deal Brexit. Lidl, for example, which is a large German supermarket chain, a discount supermarket chain, which is also very active in the United Kingdom, it has advised its British suppliers that they will have to pay any EU import tariffs which might be imposed on goods crossing over into the United Kingdom after Brexit. So any cost related to that Lidl wants the British to pay.
And investors have been keen to get into safe haven investments. All of the German government bond yields for all of the different maturities are in negative territory, same in Switzerland. So what is expected for this week?
Well, there is a little bit of the relief at the beginning of this trading week. Bond markets, those super low yields in negative territory. As you said, for Germany, all of our government bonds are yielding negatively. The same with Switzerland. Denmark now, also a few of their government bonds are coming along with negative yields, which means that you actually have to pay if you buy those bonds every year. You lose a little bit of your money, but large investors are willing to go into those bonds because, as you said, they have a reputation of being super secure. Today, the music is a little bit on the equity market. The German DAX up 1.4%. We did get a bit of optimistic and encouraging factory order data. German goods, especially, German engineering products, machinery, also consumer goods are in demand, and that's a bit of, a relief given that we had all this talk about recession. Well, and today the Bundesbank, our reserve bank here in Frankfurt, says we're not out of the wood yet. Germany's economy might still fall in a recession in the current quarter.
And still on the outlook, Brexit events, G7 summit, and of course the meeting of reserve bankers in Jackson Hole, which is of course scheduled for the upcoming weekend. What's most important for the markets as it is?
I think that this Jackson Hole meeting is very important, given that it's not the only event where a central bank, the Federal Reserve, will, express itself. We're expecting the minutes of the last Fed meeting due to come out Wednesday night. Of course, this is a written, a report of what the Federal Reserve bankers discussed at their last meeting, but of course people will watch it very, very closely and search it and scrutinize it for hints what to expect in terms of an interest rate cut in the United States. All different sorts of numbers are out. 2 cuts, maybe even 3 cuts, I don't know. We will find out, and we will find out more about what the Federal Reserve is thinking in terms of inflation outlook and in terms of economic outlook.
Exactly. Well, it looks like a jam-packed week for the business people there. Let's keep an eye on these developments, Brexit, G7, and of course the Reserve Bank meeting in Jackson Hole. Thank you for your time.